Hey, been a while. I don't really have anything planned for this video. Nothing is wrote down in my notebook. But I'm gonna just say something based off of some mistakes that I've made in the past and some lessons that I've learned from them, in the hopes that some of it resonates with you. If you don't take anything from it, no worries. But if you do, hopefully this can turn into like a somewhat of a video concept. Maybe it's on a weekly thing or every like Monday, maybe we'll have like our own little version of that on this channel. See how it goes. I might run with it, I might not. Test the waters, you know what I mean? First things first is no one owes you anything. You came into this life by yourself. A lot of the things which you've got, especially if you're young like me, a lot of the things you get earlier on in life are a result of other people's actions. You kind of get used to that, and it's all great to have that stuff. It's wonderful to have help. I'm sure everyone would love some form of help every now and then, to help them achieve that next thing, to help them get past that next hurdle and stuff like that. But you can't always rely on it because you're not always going to have it. You're going to have times where you're going to have to persevere. You're going to have to push through that next hurdle while having nothing. No help, no one around you, just you and this. And that kind of mentality shift to, okay, I'm here, I want this. No one's going to get it for me. I have to get it myself. That does wonders. It's quite a gift to be able to think like that because, I know it's so cliche to say this, but you genuinely have ultimate free will when you start thinking like that, because you can really work towards getting whatever you want. Like, again, if you're willing to put in work, that is, you're not just going to get it and just sit there, flipping, read the law of attraction, think about getting it, and then it's going to come to you. No, that's not going to happen. This mind frame helps you get in that sort of flow of, okay, I'm working towards this, nobody else is, because in the end, it's me who's going to get it right. It's just something I think a lot of people need to pick up early in life, because there aren't any handouts. There aren't any Mr. Beasts coming around giving you a free 10k or a free MacBook. That doesn't happen. You work for it. All right, nobody owes you anything. Be careful who you surround yourself with. There's this quote that I love, and I don't know who it's by. If anyone wants to comment, let me know. It's basically something along the lines of like, you are the sum of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. And I just think that is so true, because I like where I've learned this from. It's probably stemmed from multiple things, right? But initially it's probably come from, I used to have Discord friends, like people who used to play PC games and stuff can probably really relate to this. I used to be on Discord like 12 hours a day, just speaking with, people who I was playing with. I used to just, the conversations which we were having just kind of fueled this bad habit that we were doing. It didn't help that everyone was in the same frame of mind at that time. It was just like a hive mind, like we were all just fueling off of each other. We just kept feeding off of each other's enjoyment, and it just kept me there for longer and longer and longer each day, because we were all just sharing the same enjoyment. What I'm trying to get at here is, watch your circle. Careful who you're surrounding yourself with, because we pick up people's traits, whether we choose to do it or whether we don't. We do it passively. Like, even me right now, I'm probably very similar to a lot of like UK based self-improvement YouTubers. Hamza, flipping, I don't really watch self-improvement content, so that's the only guy I know. I'm probably very similar to them, because like part of the reason why I'm doing this is because I'm inspired by them. Again, I picked up their traits, even though I haven't surrounded myself with them. I've never met any of them in person, but I've picked up their traits, because subconsciously we see some of these things as like attractive or useful to have as a person who's trying to get, again, better yourself, work on whatever it is you're trying to achieve. So You know, we naturally want to pick up these things, whether consciously or not. You've got to watch your circle. You've got to watch who you surround yourself with. Make the people who you socialize with, your weapon. Pick out. I mean, this sounds kind of weird, but you know, your friendship should probably will come naturally if you're if you socialize with people who have similar traits to you. But you just gotta be careful, because the people who you surround yourself become your weapon. It can either stab you or it can stab other people. It's up to you, really. So it's the pursuit that you enjoy, not the goal. I think this is something which takes a lifetime to really set in. I'm saying this like I've lived a lifetime, but I haven't. It makes sense to me a lot more now than it did a year ago or two. Achieving a goal always gives you that dopamine boost or that quick hit, but then we kind of like settle. That's how we're wired to be as humans, you know, we're wired to biologically kind of settle once we achieve like something we've been working towards, because then, you know, let's think about going back, tracing the ancestry. The tribesman would come back with a big hunt, big animal that he just killed to feed everyone else. If we settled for that, why does he have any motivation to go out and hunt again for the next day? So we've kind of evolved in a way as such to settle for our rewards and not to be super content with what we've achieved. In today's world, that kind of translates to physical and mental progress you make to a certain degree. That feeds into the idea that it's actually the pursuit that we end up enjoying, because hard work, grittiness, chasing a goal, waking up early, sleeping early, grinding throughout your entire day is never always exactly the same. Something always feels a little bit different, or something always makes you feel that little bit harder, or like, you know what I mean? Like, you never get that same feeling from doing it the second time round, the third, the fourth. Because we never settle for that, it must be the pursuit that we enjoy and not the goal. I think I heard this from Chris Williamson, you know, modern wisdom guy. But he described it really well, and it stuck with me ever since I've heard it. He described success as a horizon, and I think that's a really strong definition for what success is, because it's always a chase. You're always going after it, you know, you're never settling. It's always there, but there's always that next high, that next bigger thing. Yeah, I feel like that description really fits what success ends up being as you continue to experience it in all these different ways, you know, be it in the gym, be it in a business, be it through, you know, relationships or whatever. Yeah, I just think that's really true. It's something you do come to learn. It's not something you have to force yourself to learn. I think it's like one of those old men wisdom type things you'd hear your grandpa say or something. You have like the concept of it, you only fully grasp it once. You've experienced enough, gone through your different types of successes. But it sounds bad, but it's not at all. We're feeling fulfilled one way or another, and I think that's the end goal for a lot of people, fulfillment. So if you're feeling fulfillment from the chase, you're feeling it one way or the other, so it's good regardless. So yeah. So there's 3 things I've learned from 3 mistakes I've made. Hopefully you can learn from my mistakes and apply these things into your life without having made the initial mistake. You know, it's one thing to be able to learn from your own mistakes, but it takes a strong mind and a strong person to be able to learn from other people's mistakes too. So make sure that's you. If you took anything of value from this, apply it in your own life. Feel free to subscribe, like, comment, whatever you want to do. Help this grow so we can reach more people and give them more knowledge, help them better themselves. And yeah, make sure I post around 4 times a week. I'm gonna keep up with that, stay consistent, give you more content, make your lives better. And yeah, drive for greatness, and don't be a vape puffing nerd.